Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Beg Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday night. Today has been crochet, crochet, crochet. I'm working up the prototype for my tunic top slash dress. The prototype is going to be a dress because I got carried away with the length. And the tutorial might be a dress too. It depends on how y'all feel about it. So it looks like I'm going to be, my yardage is, because I'm doing a dress, is going to be, if I remember correctly, close to 2,000 yards. Because I'm doing, it's six of this, 100, well, I'll let y'all do the math. 180 yards times 6 and 153 yards times 6. So these are the colors that are in the prototype. And yeah, I got enough of the other color that I'll be doing the tutorial in. I got enough of that, so I'm good. But these are the colors I've shown. You know, if you've been around the channel a little bit, you've seen little flashes of the prototype, and there's reasons why I'm not showing it all. My progress right now is because, well, and I hate to be this way, but the YouTube streets, sometimes people steal your ideas. They steal your designs and call them their own. I did my due diligence when I started on this project and my design, and looked on, I did all different kind of searches on YouTube. My friend Amy had hooked on Wish and Crochet. She did a Ravelry search for patterns and whatnot. I think we looked at Etsy to see if there was any. I looked at Etsy today just to get an idea how much people are charging for these sort of dresses, and I didn't see anything like my design. Nothing like it. So so far so good. I'm not copying anyone. Now, as to say, I'm not copying anyone's pattern or design. I'm just using knowledge that I've learned from tutorials and from trial and error, and incorporating it into this design. So, and you know, I just, I'm not trying to be ugly or deprive y'all of anything. I just, I got to protect my, you know, my design and release it when I'm finished with it, and, you know, and that I can give y'all a tutorial. Because it, like I said, people steal, you know, and it's wrong, of course, but you have no recourse when they do that. If they beat you to the punch of coming out with your idea, if they beat you to the punch, you know, of coming out and doing a tutorial or whatever, then you're just screwed. You know, you're out of luck. You know, what are you going to do with your idea now? You know, I've seen it happen. I've heard of it happening. So yeah, I'm protecting what I've come up with, because I couldn't find anything in the YouTube tutorials. I couldn't find anything that just really was the picture I had in my head. I had an idea of what I wanted, but you know, and I was hoping to find a tutorial for what I wanted, or at least something similar. But I didn't find anything that made me, you know, say, oh yeah, I want to make that. So I said, well, I'll just come up with my own. So that's what I'm doing. You know, and it's not easy, I'll tell you that. And the thing I'm not doing is counting stitches. Scary, huh? No, I'm not counting stitches. I've been keeping track of the yarn and where the yarn is, and I'm working both panels side by side. Like, I'll do like all this color, you know, on this panel, and then I'll go do the same thing on the other panel, and then when I'm ready for the next step, I'll one and then the other, and work them side by side like that. That way it just works out better, and you can compare. I can lay the panels over each other and make sure everything matches up. And so that's why I'm okay with not counting stitches on the prototype. I will be counting stitches and rows on the tutorial, and what I'm going to do with the tutorial is do one full panel off camera, and make sure I have all the numbers written down, and I have, you know, I'm not going to count, you know, because my size is not going to be your size, okay? Because the way you're going to measure what, you know, how big to make this is you can either, you know, when you go to, because it starts with granny squares, okay? So, and mine started with 5 granny squares across the top. Depending on your size, you may need to make more granny squares or less granny squares. Or you might need to, instead of a 5 round granny square, you might need to make a 4 round granny square. You know, it really just depends on your size and your taste. Because this is be totally customizable. And I think y'all will like it. I really do. Because it's really easy. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, there's none of this front post, back post stuff. There's none of these complicated stitches. As long as you know the basics, you know, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, you're in business. And slip stitch, of course. But, you know, but there's nothing going to be real hard about it. I know a lot of people or a lot of ladies and people in general are really nervous about doing a wearable. And that's what I kind of wanted to make easier, you know, because most garments that I see are done in 2 panels, a front and back panel, and I'm comfortable with that. And I like the, you know, I'm good with that. I know a lot of the what is that style, raglan style, where they start with the collar and then you work it top down and there's no panels to sew. That's all well and good, but I like the panels, you know, I'm good with that. I haven't really tried raglan style. I will eventually. I just struggle with keeping my chain straight. I have tried it, and I think I had one started somewhere in a whip bag somewhere that I started. It was raglan style. But I had trouble keeping my chain straight and, you know, getting the points just right and everything. I just struggled with that, and this I don't struggle with at all. So, and the whole reason for me doing crochet is because it's relaxing. When I start to stress out about it, I dump that project. If I get stressed out doing something, I stop it. I just stop and put it away, or frog it and wind up the yarn. I'm not going to put any undue pressure on myself. You might hear dogs playing in the background, which sounds like they're fighting, but they're not. They're playing. Pit bulls play. They play bite each other and they growl at each other, and that's what's happening in the living room. You may hear that. That's Theodore and Leroy. Yeah, playing with each other, which is really, Leroy is just wearing Theodore out. and Leroy's not comfortable jumping on my bed by himself yet, so Theodore will get on my bed to escape him. He's like, little boy, you stay down there. I'm up here. I'm gonna take me a nap. It's kind of funny because Leroy's trying to get on the bed, and he's trying to get on the bed, and he ain't quite got the hang of jumping. And so, you know, Theodore just looks at him like, It's so funny. It's so funny. But yeah. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. You know, crochet is supposed to be relaxing. I know a lot of people are very comfortable with complicated stitches, all that, you know, what I call crochet acrobats. And it's spelled just like it sounds. Because I'm Southern, and I do that. I talk like that. And if I spelled it, it would, you know, it would spell like I said it. But that's okay. You know, I do know good, proper English. I just prefer to speak the way I speak. Now they're getting loud. Anyway, and I also have a Premier yarn order. I know that's in the title. Y'all were wondering when I was going to mention that. Yes, I have all that yarn I sold. And then Premier had a sale on some things that I liked and wanted. So I said, why not? So yeah, I ordered me some yarn. I hadn't been buying much yarn. because I was saving, because first we tried to save Axel, and then I had to spend money to say goodbye to Axel. And so we recouped some of our money with the mystery bags. And, you know, they was just a little extra to buy some yarn. And after everything I've been through, I just thought maybe I deserved a little pretty yarn. And I really like Premier yarn a lot. So let me get to that so we can look at some pretty yarn together. And so they had, let me find the one that's got the seam out so I can pull it out and show you. There was one. Yeah, that one. Okay. They had their Premier Basics Mosaic on sale. And look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. And the Mosaic, the Basics Mosaic is it's a 4 worsted weight. It's 216 yards, 198 meters. It's 4.23 ounces, 120 grams. It's 100% acrylic. They recommend a 5.5 knitting needle, 5.5 crochet hook, and it's got that tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. And so I got 6 of this one, and it's very much reminiscent of that party yarn that Joanne sells. You see that with all the different colors? I don't have a party yarn in here with me. I do have some in a tote somewhere, but yeah, it's kind of similar to that, but a different texture. I'll put it that way, because for some reason when I worked with the party yarn, a couple of different times I've worked with it, it feels more like cotton to me than acrylic. I don't know why the texture is so different, but this is so yummy. I really, really love the texture of Premier Basics. It's so nice. And so this color is called Bouquet. Bouquet. This is Bouquet in the pink. And I don't really have a particular project in mind as of yet, but I'm sure I will. I eventually do. And so there's 6 of them. And then I got, of course, you know, I got some turquoise, right? And then I got 7 of these because I was trying to get that 75 mark, you know, get the free shipping. I hate paying shipping. I hate it. I don't know why. It's just a oh, somebody cut this with a box cutter. You see that? They cut that with I got some tape. I'll tape it. And this is the same specs, and this color is called C. And so we got 7 of this one. I'll probably make myself a sweater because I have some turquoise, and I also have a purple here that, because if you look closely, there's like this ever so light purple right in here. There's just a little bit of purple right there. And I've really come, I guess maybe because 2 of my besties are purple loving ladies. And so, and of course one of my favorite content creators, Juan the Yarn Addict, is also a purple lover. So a few people that are important to me love purple. And so it's rubbed off on me. So I now like purple too. I mean, I'm trying to get this this 3-pack of basics out of the cube here, but this I think I could probably safely, I know this doesn't look like it would go together, but when I look at that pale purple, and this color is thistle, but if I put them side by side, it pops out that purple. You see what I'm saying? It pops that purple out. So I could run this with some of this and the turquoise. Also have an aqua down here, over here. Let me do some shifting here. Also have aqua. I believe this is aqua. Did I mention I like Premier? Yes, this is aqua. So see, of course it goes with that. So I could do a project with, you see what I'm saying? You could pair the 3 of these together, and that would turn out real pretty. It would. I think so. Let me see if I can get these back in the cubes. There we go. I wiggled it in there. Because they're big skeins. Yeah, the Premier Basic skeins are they're 370 something, I think, yards. Anyway, let's see, let me move these around here. I have to tape that. Yeah. Well, oh, of course it's stuck to something. My tape. If you ain't got some tape around you, let me tear that one little piece off. It got stuck to something else, and I just noticed the other day that I'm using the same exact tape that Juan uses. It's from Walmart, and it's cheap. It's less than $4 a roll. So, take that. Alright. And I also got 3 more skeins of this that I already had some of. This is Foliage Marl. And I think it probably has similar... Actually, this one is 4-weight. It has 245 yards, 224 meters, 5 ounces, 140 grams, and of course it's 100% acrylic with all the other same stats. But this is the green. I think I have... Yeah, I have one down here that's... I just wanted some more of it because I only had 4 skeins of it and I wanted some more of it. And it was on sale. So this is what it looks like. And if you look close, there's actually turquoise in this. Right in here. It's very pretty. I used it with a cardigan that I made a while back for one of my channel members. She had ordered a cardigan for me. Is that? Yeah, that's my new one. I'm just going to stick it down there and I'll put it in the cube later. And I also got, yeah, this is the one I opened. I got some of these acrylic well, it's just, they're little, these are like $7.99. And you get like 3 big old balls of, and I was hoping when I ordered them that I got this color because I really liked the color. And it's just 100%, it's mill-ends. I've not bought a lot of mill-ends, but I figured Premier's mill-ends would probably be really nice. And I'm right. And this looks like puzzle, only it's a 4-weight. It's a thicker 4-weight. Definitely a 6 millimeter or 6.5 millimeter hook. Easily. But it's got, let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that if you look, the color is just, it's wonderful. And it's really, it's really soft. It's just as soft as the basics. And so I got 3 of these bags of it. And so there will be a blanket probably, because I think this is enough yardage for a blanket. And so they all are, they all look just like this with these colors. And so I just opened one of them just to see what it felt like, and I was very happy with it. Because it was a kind of a risky situation, you know, to see if I was going to like it, because or if it was even going to be the same color as they showed on the website. You don't know if it's going to be the same color because it's mill-ends. It could be a mystery situation where you could get, you know, a totally different color. Like one time I ordered, I think it was a mill-end type. It was like get 3 skeins of acrylic, and I thought I was getting regular Premier Basics, but it was Eversoft instead. I'm not a big fan of Eversoft. It's really thin, and I've just not been a big fan of real super shiny yarn. So yeah, but it's okay. I have used some of it. I got the cream, I think, Eversoft up there in a shawl project that I'll eventually get to finish, but it's not on my high priority list at the moment. But that's my Premier order. Lots of basics, mosaic and some marl, and this I'm assuming this is a failed attempt at puzzle yarn. I looked at the puzzle colors and I don't see this color anywhere in there. And there's one of them. The next one has more turquoise. Look, this one has more turquoise in it. Yeah, see how that has more turquoise than this one? And the turquoise is like striped. So they're similar, and you could safely work them into the same project, but they are just a little bit different. Each of them are a little bit different, which I like, because that adds more variety into the project. I don't know. I think if I threw a solid color in there, I think it would probably be black. I think black would work very well with this variegated yarn. I think you could safely do black with this, and it would look just fine. So there may be like a blanket situation where I stripe it with black, kind of just break it up just a little bit, just to kind of give it some depth, you know. I like to play with color. Y'all already know that by now. I love different colors, and there's not a whole lot of colors I don't like. I even have a whole cube over here of different shades of brown, and this skin tones. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of this, and like I think it's like 2 or 3 different shades of the brown, and then this cream color. So I'm sure they probably don't just call it, they call it ivory. Yeah, ivory. But it's this anti-pilling. This is like some of the softest yarn you're ever gonna hold in your hand, and I'm definitely gonna make myself probably a dress, because brown looks really nice on me. It goes great with my hair. But I do like brown. I do like the colors. Let's see if I can pull. But look at how beautiful that is. I mean, it does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but not like Eversoft and not like Karen Simply Soft. But it does have a little bit, just a little. But this color is called truffle. Those things that I no longer can eat unless they're sugar-free. But this is really pretty. Let's see. Is that the same thing? No, that's another. I thought I had them better organized where I could just pull a different color, but I know I got mahogany and one other color, I think. Yeah, I think I got 3 different shades of the brown. I know one of them is mahogany, and one of them is like nutmeg, I think, something like that. But gorgeous anyway. And so I would definitely be incorporating this into a dress or a sweater this coming fall, because this is 100% acrylic, so this won't be, you know, cool in the triple-digit heat that we get here. So but soon. I bought it when it was like $2.99 a ball, because it normally retails for like $5.99 or $6 something. So I totally seized the deal. It was a deal and a steal, so I got a bunch of it, and I'm not sorry. No, but update on little Leroy. He's doing okay. He's just he keeps having some accidents in the house, but Johnny managed to catch him mid poop right before he started pooping, and caught him and stopped him and rushed him outside so that he could do that. So I'm hoping that something will trigger in his brain. Yo, I don't need to do this in here. I need to do this out there, and I need to let them know when I need to go out there. He's getting there, because a while ago he came to the back door and he goes, He whined a little bit, you know. And I said, I got you, buddy. I got you. And so I put my shoes on and took him out there, because we still don't quite trust him in the yard to try to, you know, even though I went out there and looked, and I don't see anywhere that they could get out. And the little gap that I was worried about, my landlord was here a few days ago and bridged that gap with some stuff. He kind of shoved some stuff into that spot so that they can't get it out of this little crack, because it was just about like this. And Theo is like, so Theo was not fitting through that crack, okay? But Leroy could have fit through that crack. And so that's one of the main reasons why we've been walking out there with them. Theo, you can just open the door and he goes out, does his business, and comes right back. But Leroy, we're still monitoring him. It's been less than a week. So we're still monitoring him outdoors to make sure that he's okay, make sure he doesn't try to jump a fence or find a crack to dig, for instance. You know, he's not tried to dig. So there's that. So that's good. He's no longer trying to mount Theodore. The only thing that really concerns and kind of, you know, that we really got to work on is stealing Theo's food. So he quickly eats his helping of kibble, and then he looks at Theo's helping of kibble. Well, Theo's a slow eater. He's not a fast wolf it down unless I mix wet food with it, and then he wolfs it down. But yeah, I mix some wet food with their kibble early this morning, like at 8 o'clock this morning, which is difficult to do when you went to bed at midnight. But I went ahead and stayed up and drank a Diet Mountain Dew and got to work crocheting. So if that gives you any indication, I've been crocheting since about 9 this morning. But I got a whole lot done. I'm down to just, doing granny squares and then seaming things up and finishing work. So that's good. That should mean that I should have my dress done within a few days. So, but yeah, they get breakfast, and when I give them their breakfast, I take a can of food. This is canned food that I originally bought for Axel that I just ended up with a bunch of it, and I probably will buy some more because Theo really likes it and he deserves it. So what I did is I put kind of a half a can in Theo's food and a half a can in Leroy's, and I mix their kibble and the canned food up real good. And Theo will eat that all in one sitting. He won't, but the dry kibble, he's a little slower at eating. So, because it's not his favorite. He prefers to be spoiled with wet food. Okay? And that wet food smells funky to me. I have a real sensitive nose, and I smell things that, or even faint smells I can smell. And it overrides my senses. Like when Leroy had his accident in the middle of the night, and I was sleeping, and I was woke by that smell. Yeah. So I just grabbed some napkins and flushed it down the toilet. That got rid of that. But the smell lingered in the air for way too long. But yeah, it was just like, oh, that's offensive. Nothing to wake you up quicker than dog poo, let me tell you. It was offensive. But we're getting there. We're totally getting there. And Theo is for the first time yesterday when I got back from the grocery store, he brought me his toy, because they now have identical toys, which is a rope toy. The rope part is about like this, and it's kind of there's like this little swirly part in the middle, and then it's got 2 rubber balls on each, one on each end, and they're really solid rubber balls with these little spikes on them, little soft spikes. And Theo brings me his toy. I'm sitting in the living room wanting to play tug of war, where he has it, and I'm, we're just going back and forth with it. He hasn't wanted to do that in a long time. No, sir. Go lay down. You see this right here? I'm going to bop you. Go lay down. This is the bop. Believe it or not, he's terrified of this. This is an empty paper towel roll thing. But you just lightly bop him on the nose, and he will listen to you. So, and pit bulls are like that. They need a physical correction. So, and it's always just a light tapping on the nose, or, just a little tap on the nose. Johnny's got a rolled up newspaper in his room that he uses. But it's more, I use the sound more than I actually touch him with it. I use the sound of it in my hand to make it really loud, and then he'll go do what he's told. So, it's more sound than anything. So, yeah. I have plans for my yard. I've been talking to the besties about that, because I found some planters out here in the backyard, some little rectangles planters that I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, something like that. And I checked them to I bent them around to see if they were dry rotted or not, because my landlord has a bunch of junk back there and half of it's probably dry rotted because it's been there for years. I think he's on this house, what did he say, 10 or 20 years, something like that. A long time. But he's been into it with the city over junk that's been in the backyard, and he had to come get a pop-up trailer, a little camping trailer, the kind that folds up. It's like a pop-up thing. And they wrote us a notice and put it out on the porch about that. First it was the old swimming pool that was back there, above ground swimming pool, and he had to come tear that down sometime last month, a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that. And so he went out there and did that, and then they left another notice, and he said, I bet it's that pop-up trailer. So he come back and with some wheels, and he had to swap out the tires on it, and he took that out. So, but the porch needs cleaning up and redoing, and so I got some gloves and a hammer and some nails, because we got to fix something out there. But and then we already have a rake, so we're gonna do some stuff with the outside of the house. I may do, I don't know, it depends on how interested y'all are at what we could do. It's been raining all day today, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'll have to wait till things dry up again before we can get out there, otherwise we will be very muddy. So we're going to wait until it warms up a little bit and dries up all the rain. And so that's where we are with that. But I have planned to use those planters and get some flowers for right there at the front of the porch, you know, to spruce up the front yard. And then I'm going to get, I want to plant some vegetables in some squash and zucchini, you know, specifically. Now, I would get tomatoes, but my stomach doesn't like tomatoes anymore. So that would be kind of pointless. And my boys are not crazy about tomatoes either. So that would be a waste. But I do love zucchini and squash, and so do the boys. So that's you know, that may go in 2 different ones, so we can maximize what we get. But you know, because sometimes plants produce and sometimes they don't. You don't really know if they're going to. And I did, when I was at Walmart, kind of pricing things. I did look at other kind of plants like succulents, and I found and I really, you know, interested in maybe getting an aloe vera plant, because aloe vera is very good for you, especially your skin. It's very nice. My mother, when I was a child, before a lot of stuff happened, when we were little, she used to have this really huge aloe vera plant, and because I was really subject to getting sunburned, I still am. I'm very fair complected, so I sunburn like that. And my sister the same way. And I don't speak to her. I don't speak to either of these people anymore because they're just toxic. But anytime we got a sunburn or an injury or something, she would take a leaf off the aloe vera plant, and she would split it, you know, cut it open, and then put that on our burn, and we would heal up much quicker. It would soothe it and make it feel so much better. And then of course we would, you know, the sunburn would get better quicker, I think, than it would have had she not had the aloe vera. So I think that, you know, that was her way of dealing with it, you know, without having to go and buy a bunch of stuff. She had what she needed right there at home with the aloe vera. So I really would like to get an aloe vera plant. I don't know about sunburns. I don't know but I think maybe a facial, you know, to help keep my face from drying out, because I have noticed that since I've lost all the weight, my skin seems to be rougher than I'm used to. So I think something like that maybe, you know, can get the moisture back in my skin. I mean, I have some lotion over here, but I don't always remember to put it on. But I'll just, you know, had to try several different things. And of course, if we have the aloe vera plant, if anybody gets a sunburn or an injury of some sort, we can put that on there. And it's a natural, you know, remedy that we have without having to go buy something. So, you know, just try to, and the killer part is I always wanted to do this with the yard, and I always wanted to have plants and stuff like that. But when I was 400 and something pounds, I just didn't have it in me physically. So it's kind of like I'm fulfilling something that I always wanted to do. And so that's the plan, is to just do the things that I always wanted to do, but I couldn't physically do. And so now, I mean, not that I'm, you know, completely, you know, rid of all my health issues. I mean, I still have lymphedema in my legs. I still have osteoarthritis and bone spurs on my spine. So I do have to take it easy. But there's a whole lot that I can do now that I couldn't do then. So, and I'm excited to see what else I can manage. And I look forward to the flowers. I'll be taking allergy medicine They had these at Walmart, and they're 14 tablets. They had them for $1.48 at the Walmart I went to yesterday. So I bought 3 boxes. I said if I'm doing that stuff outdoors, I'm going to need allergy medicine because I'm allergic to pollen. It really, it gets my eyes going, it gets my nose going, and before you know it, my eyes are red, my nose is red, and I'm just a hot mess. So yeah, I'm be taking allergy medicine. So yeah, it just becomes a thing. It becomes a big thing. And this year specifically, I had a allergy attack when I didn't even think about it. My van was covered in pollen in my windshield, and I rolled the windows down, and then I used the windshield washers, and all that pollen ended up right. So about halfway through me and John's outing, I'm just total allergic attack. And so it wasn't until we got home and I could take some Benadryl that everything leveled out. So yeah, for some reason, ever since I've lost this weight, I'm more susceptible to allergic reactions. So I even had allergic reaction to something somebody sent me, and it turned my hands red. Yeah, and so we put that on top of the fridge, and if I handle them again, I'll have to wear gloves because my hands just turned red and started swelling. And I was like, what the heck? So Benadryl again and washing my hands. And then within about an hour, I was fine. So, but it was kind of scary there for a minute because I didn't know, what was in that package that my hands suddenly reacted to. It was some seeds. Some wildflower seeds that have been lovingly picked out for me specifically. So now I have to handle them with gloves. I figured what I do when I get the yard, the not the dog's part of the yard, the regular part of the yard, along the fence line, I'm just going to, when we get all that cleaned up from the leaves and limbs and what have you, I'm just going to take a little spade and dig up around the fence line and then put them seeds in there because they're wildflowers. So I'm just going to put them seeds in there, cover them back up, water it, and give it and just let it happen. And let it be along that fence line right there, because it's not going to hurt anybody on the other side because they got like an 8-foot fence right against our chain link fence. So it's not going to bother them. But I like to be able to look at them and enjoy them from a distance. Plus, I plan on setting myself up with an outdoor area where I can crochet and record. I found some chairs at that Walmart that were like $20 a piece, but I didn't have John with me to carry one. And so I didn't get any. They were my color too. They were like an aqua color. But they were only $20. I was like, shoot, I need to get 2. And then they need some cushions because they were this real hard plastic, I don't know what kind of, they were outdoor chairs. But they would need some cushions because, well, I need cushions. I can't sit on hard plastic without cushions. But it wouldn't be hard to get cushions. But anyway, so that's what we got going on tonight. The prototypes for the top/dress is well on its way, and then I will work up one panel off camera for the actual tutorial so that I can write all the how many rows I'm doing for each thing and keep track of that, so that when I'm doing the tutorial I can tell you I did this many rows in this color and this many rows in that color. And because I didn't keep up with it within the prototype. I didn't keep up with it at all. I was just trying to get my design out, get what was in here in my hands, and so it just so happened that everything is matching up panel for panel. All the stitches are lining up. So obviously I did something right. But this is my first time designing a garment all on my own. So, wearable. So I'm really excited. But I'm really, kind of reserved about it a little bit because I don't know how it's going to be received. Hopefully everybody likes it, I hope. And I look forward to seeing what people do with it, because you can, there's so many different things you can do with it to make it your own. And I fully encourage that. Just as Crystal does over at Bag O' Day, she encourages people to make her designs their own. If they want to make changes to it or what have you, she's totally, encourages that. So I agree. You know, everybody's going to be different. Whatever my style is not going to be the next person's style. You know, you just might want to add a, you know, instead of doing one thing, you might want to do something else at the bottom. You know, so everybody has a different way of doing things. But anyway. Oh, let me tell you a joke. I'm going to start making this part of my ending. And if you're blonde, I apologize. It's not about you particularly. It's just a joke. All right. Blonde woman goes into the hairdresser. And she has these headphones on her head. She tells the hairdresser what kind of haircut she wants. She said, but you have to cut my hair around the headphones. It's a matter of life and death. I cannot take the headphones off. The hairdresser's kind of skeptical, but she agrees. So the girl sits in a chair, she gets started, and she's cutting her hair. Well, after a little while, curiosity gets the better of the hairdresser. And so she rips the earphones off the girl's head. The girl falls down on the ground and she's dead. So the hairdresser picks up the earphone and puts it to her ear, and it says, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. I hope y'all found that funny, because it's just a joke. But yeah. Silly as it is, it's a joke. I heard it many, many years ago, and it is a joke. Oh, I got another one. Okay, got another one. All right, lady and gentleman going down the road, and they hit a rabbit. Okay, he gets out of the car and he says, oh no, the rabbit's dead. And she's like, no, just a minute. So she goes to the car and she gets her hairspray. Yeah, so she sprays the rabbit down with the hairspray, and next thing you know, he pops to life and he starts running. And every so often he turns around and waves at him. And he'll run a little bit and then he'll turn around and wave. And the guy says, why does he keep waving? And she turned around, she showed him the can, and it says, brings hair back to life and installs permanent wave. There you have it. That's all my comedy for tonight. Hopefully it made you laugh. Maybe not silly like me laugh, but, you know, have a little fun with things. You know, life is too short. Find laughter where you can. Laugh at what you can laugh at and try not to cry. Because crying never solves anything, obviously. But sometimes you can't help but cry, and sometimes it's good to have a good cry. But in everyday life, you want to laugh rather than cry. Anyway, but please remember that I love you, and so does Jesus. And of course, adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue, or they could be laying on the floor waiting for you to do something for them. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Bye now.